Shalom. Welcome to my top 5 Christian sites to visit in Israel. Stay till the end and see my favorite bonus site. Number 5. The Sea of Galilee. The Sea of Galilee is one of the most famous bodies of water in the world. The Bible has much to say about the sea. Jesus spent most of his ministry on the sea and on its shores. The Gospel tells us about Jesus recruiting his disciples, the Sermon on the Mount, the miracles of walking on the water, calming the storm, catching the fish, casting out demons, and feeding the multitudes, all happening here and around the Sea of Galilee. Some of the main sights to see around the Sea of Galilee are Capernaum, Mount of Beatitudes, Mount Arbel, and Magdala, along with many others. Number 4. Caesarea Maritima. Caesarea and its harbor were built by Herod the Great in around 9 BC. During this time, it became the Roman capital in Judea. The Apostle Paul traveled through Caesarea more than a few times. Before his trial in Rome that led to his death, he spent 2 years in prison in Caesarea. Also, at the site of Herod's palace is the only physical evidence to have ever been found proving that Pontius Pilate was a real person. The interesting sights to see at Caesarea are the Aqueduct, Theater, Herod's Palace, the Hippodrome, and the Crusader Castle. Also located at the Aqueduct is one of Israel's most famous beaches. It's also one of my favorite places to enjoy the Mediterranean. Number 3. Bethlehem. Bethlehem is located in the West Bank and controlled by the Palestinian Authority. To get into Bethlehem, tourists must travel through a military checkpoint and enter through the separation wall. The Church of the Nativity is one of the oldest churches in the world and is built over the grotto, or cave, where tradition holds that Jesus was born. The church was built in the 4th century by Helena, who was Constantine's mother. It is typically a few hours' wait to get your chance to enter the cave.
Till he appeared, and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices for yonder.
Once in the grotto, you'll see a star, which is where tradition says Jesus was born. You can reach into the hole and touch the rock. Then we see the shrine, where they say Jesus' manger was. Number 2. Temple Mount. The Temple Mount is located in Jerusalem on Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah is a location where Abraham took Isaac to offer him as a sacrifice. It is also the site of the first and second Jewish temple, a Crusader fortress, and home to the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock. The Western retaining wall of Temple Mount, also known as the Western Wall or the Wailing Wall, is the most holy spot in all of Judaism. One of my favorite spots to visit around Temple Mount is the Southern Steps. This is one place that we know for sure Jesus would have been. He would have walked and taught here. While most scholars agree that what we know as Temple Mount is where the first and second temple is located, there are some that believe that it was actually the Antonia Fortress, and that the actual temple would have been located farther south in the city of David. And now, my number 1 favorite Christian site to visit in all of Israel is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is where the last 4 stations of the Via Dolorosa happened. This is where Jesus' robes were taken off of him, he was nailed to the cross and died, he was placed on a stone and prepared for burial, and was placed in a tomb. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is the holiest, most important spot in all of Christendom. It is the place where Jesus died, was buried, and rose again. When you visit the church, you can expect to wait very long waits, sometimes even a whole day, to get into the burial chamber. Once you enter the burial chamber, you are there for just a few brief moments before they ask you to leave. But the most important thing to see in the burial chamber is that there's nobody there. And now, my bonus site, Masada. While Masada isn't a Christian site, it is one of my favorite places to visit in Israel. And if you ever have a chance to go to Israel, It's a must-see. Masada is located in the Judean desert on the shores of the Dead Sea just south of Jerusalem. It is one of 6 fortresses Herod built for his security. The story of Masada is that of the final holdup of the Jewish revolt in 73 AD. After escaping Jerusalem, the rebels traveled here to Masada. Somewhere around 1,000 people arrived here and were found by the Roman 10th Legions. The Romans, with about 6,000 soldiers, built 8 camps around Masada as well as a wall and had the rebels surrounded. The rebel leader gathered the men together and discussed their option as the Romans began to burn the wall. The men decided to draw lots. Each man went and killed his own family, then they began to kill each other, ending in the man who drew the worst lot having to commit suicide. The next morning, when the Romans came to the site, they found 970 dead rebels. Thank you for exploring my top 5 Christian sites in all of Israel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next site.